This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Check 48, the mark. 25. Hey, look, 48. Look, hey, we're going to mark the 48.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there on the first play of the game. 47 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They begin with a run by Davis. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run with Davis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Play fake. Bridgewater. This is caught. It's Cooks. Brandon Cooks. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Brandon Cooks. His 4th touchdown on the year. As his guys are on the board here this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
At their own 24-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
44. Go. Mike, 44. Army.
From the gun, here's Watson going deep for Hopkins. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense.
Watch his slant. Watch his slant. Four the mic.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
That's taken on the 25. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
You can't block me. Check 31. Check 31.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response.
Mike, 56, right there.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that's complete to Cooks. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, batted free. Got his man, it's Eifert.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Bridgewater again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Now it's Davis. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And Eifert has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
7-7, our score after 1. Bridgewater now from the 50. Deep ball for Goodwin. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
36.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line. They're going to have to do something with him. He was so sensational last week, over 200 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, what do? You hold him?
That's a good start as long as you can get away with it. Otherwise, just giving up penalties and free plays for the offense. But I think you've got to do a combination of things. Chip it his timing at the line of scrimmage, have extra people in the territory for him. You've got to do everything and change it up from snap to snap.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. On second down, it's Dixon. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jordan Willis in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
A 37-yard attempt.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Davis. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Davis will try to run for it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
56 the mark, boy. 56.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Completes it to Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
I'm coming after you. Check 3, check 3.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Watson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. To throw is Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Right there on the coverage was the safety, Jesse Bates.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mike, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Line up, go.
Here's Watson. Going to throw again. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. No, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He gets it to Cooks. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Brandon Cooks as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
You're looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Bridgewater. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Gold with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hold now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Going up top. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Bridgewater now. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. Oh, he sheds himself free. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
It's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the 41-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let him know.
From the gun, Bridgewater. Throws right side, and that's complete. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. Right?
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
26.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gold now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. It's a 4-yard pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Watson. Gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Set. 19. 44. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Let's go.
On first down, Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Watson. And his throw here's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To the air yet again, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that will be incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Bengals drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Again, it's Davis. They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. Back now in Houston. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing. Bridgewater. Goodwin able to haul it in. They find some open field here. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Marquise Goodwin. 78 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. 44 is the And no time to go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. It's Mixon on the counter, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Watson. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And now look at him go. 30, the 20, 10. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Here's Davis now. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Completes it to Dixon. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
4 receivers now, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. 2nd down and 4. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Andrew Billings gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Watson now to throw, and he's going to go down again. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And the pressure gets to him again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say we'll get better as we go forward.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now,